Hello everyone and welcome to the 14th episode of Kotie's Kingdom. Today we are inside of one of the houses in the kingdom and I keep hearing a skeleton that I don't know where it is. But I've moved all of the temporary storage that we're using to build the kingdom to in here because I really didn't like it being out there. There's still some stuff out there and I found a skeleton. He broke my boots! I found I still have this over here just because it's just smelting up a lot of stuff. And then there's this chest here, which I don't know what to do with. But I've managed to gather a lot of brick, and we're going to be working a lot over here today. I want to get at least the top part, so this part, done for every single house, as well as build 3 other houses. Now, in between episodes, I did build an additional 2 houses, with this one being one of them. It's a little different because the roof was so tall. What? What? I see. Oh, hello. I don't want to deal with you right now. But yeah, the roof was a little tall over here. So I thought I'd try and like just cut it down and make it like rounded off. And it kind of works. It looks a little strange because there's not enough detailing on the actual roof part. But that's something I need to work on in general. And then the other house that I managed to build is over here. This is one of the bigger ones. This is like the rich area house. Again, needs a little more detailing on some of the sides. I don't really know what to do for it. But this is the start of the rich area of the village. So I say rich, but they're still not that wealthy. So it's kind of like right before medium class, I guess. Right before high class. They're still living in the village here, which is like the poor village, but they also have a bit of money, so they decided to reside here. Now we're going to be working on these 2 houses today. They are smaller houses, but as said, because it's in this part of town, they'll have maybe a cobblestone roof on one of them with spruce or chimneys for sure and so on. And then this house, we're not going to work on today, but I have big plans for that. And that is to make it the house of the Nosebergs. The guy that we had, or the statue, which we added lore to in the last episode, we're definitely gonna make that like his old house, and that's something we'll work on a little later. But before I go ahead and get started with building all of this, I do need to go collect some sandstone because I thought I had everything ready, and I checked through all these chests here. You can see we've got lots of wood, lots of brick, lots of stone brick, and then this like we've got a stack and 60 of sandstone, which is not a lot. Definitely not enough to build more than one house. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to head over to the desert. And then when I come back, I'm going to start building all these houses. And I think I'm going to do it in form of a third-person time lapse. So I want to say that you guys should just sit back, relax, and enjoy. In today's time lapse, I quickly wanted to talk about my channel in the next upcoming weeks or so. Because starting June 6th, I will be heading to London for an event for a few days. And then when I come back, I have 3 days to record and pack down everything before I have to move out. So by June 15th, I must have moved out all of my stuff at 10 a.m., which means we're doing it on the 14th. And then I won't be able to have my PC until July 1st because I'm out of a house, really. So I can't really record or anything, which means that if there's a few less episodes of the series, then I do apologize. We will return to it in July, hopefully. I will, of course, try and pre-record, and there's a few other series planned that is coming up. So I just wanted to mention it quickly, just in case we are missing some videos. But yeah, let's go back to the music and enjoy the time lapse. We are back now after the time lapse, and I sadly had to end it before I was able to build all of the frames here around the town, just because I have actually run out of materials now. So we're unable to build the remaining, I think there's 7, 1. That's one we passed, 2, 3, 4, 5? Is there only 5? Let's have a look again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 5 or 6, I don't know. Well, we're unable to build them just because I don't have the materials. Especially stone brick and logs. That's what I'm running out of the most. But in the time lapse, we also worked on some new houses. I think these two were some of them, and they are connected. And I feel like that's kind of helping me with the sort of crammed look we're going for in the village. And this little path or passageway here. It's just making it a lot more cramped, which is nice, even though it is like the nicer part of town. I think the other one we built was this one, or was it that one? One of these two. I can't actually fully remember, because it has been a bit since I did the time lapse. But we have now got all of the houses done, and I think they look pretty good. This place is just coming along nicely, and I think in maybe the next episode, we're actually gonna have to start branching off into the next area. Although I do need a name for this place, guys. This village here is sort of like the pumpkin village, but not like I don't want it to be named off of pumpkins. Maybe related to Noseberg over here, since he is sort of the big guy in town. And since this house down here will be his, or his descendants it will be, since he's no longer alive. That's sort of the story behind him. Then, yeah, maybe the village could be named after him. I still don't know what to call it. But let me just fly on up here, as you can see. This is sort of the first village. I will have to experiment with terraforming it, soon, but I need to collect a lot of dirt for that. And then we're gonna probably, either in the next episode or the episode after that, have to follow these paths here and branch over in this direction. And then when we get to over to near here, that's where we're gonna start off laying out the foundation for the next village, which will be sort of the richer area, where we'll have to do terraforming as well, and that's also where we're going to do the castle, the big castle, which will take up the most of my time, probably, building this thing, because when I say it's going to be a big castle, it's going to be really big. Like, I am going to spend so long collecting resources and working on it, but I think the outcome's going to make it worth it. Besides that, I think one of the other things I need to consider is making a place that's poorer than this, because this is not that poor, to be honest. They've got giant tall houses. They've got like a lot of cobblestone, chimneys, everything. We might need to make just a real poor man's village outside near this place, maybe over here, where we might also do a dock. So it depends if I want to terraform this whole thing, because this water is so weird to look at. There's so much gravel and sand combined, and it's really low down. But besides that, the village is coming along nicely. I'm trying to get a really nice view of it, but this update 1.14.2 pre-release 4 is not really doing too well when you fly in terms of loading the terrain. As you can see, it is not the prettiest, but yeah, I think maybe on stream or just in between episodes, I'm gonna have to finish off the rest of the houses here. Or maybe we'll do another time lapse. Depends what you guys want to see. But I think for now, what I want to do is sort of take a step back and sort of get a break from this, because we need to work on something very important over in our cave. So this is the little portal. It looks so tiny compared to this place. But yeah, so one issue that I have, and I've got the stuff ready for it as well. One issue that I have is that smelting sandstone and stone and bricks just takes forever, because I've got 4 furnaces set up. So I think we're going to have to go back and double it up and make a furnace array of some sort back in the cave. I don't really want to plant it in here. My god, isn't this just nice? I can't wait till we get into terraforming and detailing like custom trees and all that. But yeah, so smelting things just takes way too long. So what I've done is I've collected a bunch of iron, and we've got a stack of hoppers, so we can set up a massive, oh, well, not massive, a furnace array, so that we can smelt items a lot faster. Because it is just a big struggle having to wait so long just for bricks to smelt and so on. It's just taking way too long. So I think we're going to hop back into the cave, and then we're going to get started with that. I am not sure if I showed you guys this, but on stream, what happened was I was meant to get some resources, and I saw some zombie villagers, and In case you guys didn't know, in this game, right now there's a bug where when you convert zombie villagers into villagers, they sell you really, really cheap stuff. So these two are our two new villagers. We got another farmer and a librarian, and they can sort of just trade really, really cheap trades to me. This guy has a pumpkin trade, which is something we've been waiting for a long time. And he sometimes has it for 1 emerald, sometimes, or 1 pumpkin, sometimes 2. Which means I can now trade pumpkins as well as cheap melons. So that is pretty nice. Sadly, he didn't get any, like, decent trades. I guess you can't really get any decent trades, but everything just costs 1 most of the time, exception of the carrots. And right now the pumpkins. His name's Jimmy, by the way. That's Jimmy. Then the other guy is sort of the big guy. So I don't know if you guys remember, but this villager over here died. I don't know how. Not this guy, the one that owned the stall before him. He's now bought out the stall. Now he used to be our cheapest mending trade, and we had to go over and trade with this guy now, like 13 emeralds. I don't want to do that. So I managed to get myself another librarian, and he has a 1 mending book trade because of the weird bug there is. But that's actually not why I wanted this. The reason why we wanted this guy is because of this trade. So I can buy a bookshelf for 1 emerald. Then I can place down all the bookshelves that I just spent 1 emerald on. Sadly, I have to break it with my fist because I don't actually have an axe that doesn't have silk touch on it. But yeah, I can do that, get 9 books, and then I can go over and just get emeralds from those books. So it's basically infinite emeralds, kind of cheaty. And then we can just buy mending books. And I have actually stocked up on them just a bit here. We go into not the nature book, box, I don't need that. Go into our village book here. I've also spent a lot of my emeralds on replacing the beacon with emeralds instead of iron, because I really needed iron. But yeah, so now we have a lot of mending books. I also found the silk touch book that I put up there. I decided to not have books up in that place anymore because I just forget about them, so that's not too good. But that means that we now have really, really cheap trades, and we can obviously still do our trading over here. Still get the cheap free book emerald thingy or silk touch thing. Wow, I can't talk. And then we can also do the trade over on this guy, which is infinity, really cheap. I do want another efficiency 5 guy, really cheap. So if we find another zombie villager, we might try and get that. But yeah, so what we need to do now is not worry about villagers anymore. So I'm actually quickly going to go ahead and put some of this stuff back, like the pumpkins and the melons and the books we can put... Oh, I already had books. I didn't need to break the bookshelf. But yeah, we're going to get rid of that for now and head on into the furnace room, which is over here. As you can see, we got our furnace indicating it. And I've gone ahead and moved the smoker that we had over to sort of near the entrance because we need this space here. We need these 3 things to sort of improve on this over here. Now 6 furnaces is pretty good, but I think we'll go ahead and turn it into either 8 or 12, maybe even double, I don't know. Just so that we can smelt items a lot faster. Now, originally, I was going to make this auto-smelting thing so that whenever you drop things in it, like so, then it would just get picked up. But that only allows me to pick up, like, a few stacks, unless I stack minecarts, and sometimes that gets noisy and such. So I think we'll just put a chest here instead, and just have a whole inventory. Now, this is where our output will be. I didn't know what to make this look like. So it's just kind of like random stone brick that holds up a chest. And then this is our, like, coal chute. So this is where we'll be inserting coal into the place. I do have some, but we're not going to go ahead and test out yet, because it doesn't work, obviously. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to have some stone brick here, and we need to sort of make this point upwards. So I guess I need to take out these hoppers, place that there, and just get rid of it after. And then this should be good to go. So now if we have a minecart chest here, it will... sort of just pick up a lot of items. So we need to sort of block it from going back down. And now we should be able to, let's say, put some cobblestone in here. And it should, hopefully, end up in the chest. Apparently it's not. I don't actually know why. Okay, maybe it is one too high up. I don't actually know. I haven't really dealt with these in survival too much. So maybe this is what we need. So let's try that. Let's go ahead and move this down. And place a chest here. Okay, so let's place the cobblestone in here. And yes, it ends up in the chest. So now what we're going to do is have this one be a powered minecart. Then, of course, it went ahead and did that. There you go. And build up here. I really can't do this, can I? Alright, there we go. So now I can go ahead and destroy this and put a normal block. So obviously this is now going to pick up all the stuff that goes into the furnace. But then we kind of only want to send it off once the minecart chest has reached a certain amount of items. Because I don't want it to start going over all the furnaces which we're going to have here. And then only have, let's say, 2. Put one in this furnace, and then just not have any blocks for this. Go back, pick up 2 more, and do the same thing. Because then we'll only use these 2. This is going to be a sort of inefficient design in terms of fuel, but it will also be a lot more efficient in terms of how long it takes to smelt an item, and that's pretty much the thing that we want to do, because I am tired of waiting for items to smelt. And one day, we're going to take this project even further and just make a massive item smelter. But that day is not going to be today, because I do not have the resources to do that. We are kind of running out of iron, so I think an iron farm might be something we need to look up how to do soon. Maybe even villager breeder, because I know those 2 are actually suggestions we have gotten. And so is this one. This is actually all the way back to episode 1. Got a comment about making the auto smelter. And I've just been too caught up with building, so we haven't really done it before. So whilst editing this episode, I noticed that I just spent way too long building the furnace array here. And I also wanted to get you guys' like feedback on whether or not you would actually want to see redstone being done on camera. But yeah, so I've gone ahead and actually finished it. I thought we'd skip to this point for now so that the episode isn't 40 minutes long, because that is roughly how long I was talking for. So, yeah, the design is now done. We're going to go ahead and check it out here in a second. But the way it works is you come over and put some items in, and you're going to see it pick up all the items. This is where I can put in all the coal. And, yeah, I've already explained all this. And then all the items end up over here in this chest. As you can see, we're currently at 45. And yes, it's just going up. So this is a lot faster than having to manually use all these furnaces. And the good thing is that if I really need something smelted and this is working on stone, then I can always use these furnaces in here, which is just great, to be honest. But yeah, if we head on down into the system, you can see there isn't really anywhere I can go without getting stuck. So I'm going to have to just quickly dig myself away into the place. Now, the redstone isn't the most compact because this is something I designed in my creative world. So there's obviously more compact designs out there, but a lot of them tend to use hoppers. So I thought I'd do it this way. But yeah, so the way it works is that, as said, this is being blocked by and held up by a piston. Then once this chest reaches 8 items, let's go ahead and put some items in here. Go ahead and put 16 in, and you can see it will reach 7 this time, sadly. And then it will go over all the furnaces, and then when it comes back, it should reach 8. It's just the first time it will not reach 8 because this hopper here has to fill up first. So now we should be good. There should be 1 extra in here. But yeah, so you can see all of the furnaces are now hooked up. They all have roughly the same items in them, even with coal. Some of them have a little less and so on, but it doesn't really matter too much. Yeah, so it gets a signal sent of 3 repeaters down here, all set to the max strength. Then it hits a redstone torch, and then hits another repeater of max strength. That could even be moved down there, the repeater. It doesn't really matter. And then it just pounds this piston to stop the minecart from going. And then once all of the items have been smelted, they get picked up by these hoppers here. And then they get shot out by this redstone clock here. And they just go into an ice stream and up a water elevator. And then it lands up in the chest up there. So there's nothing too complicated about that. And then this is just the exact same design with the coal, and yeah, that's pretty much it. The system is fairly simple, but I, as said, did kind of want you guys' opinion on whether or not you'd see redstone being done on camera, because I know some people just kind of want to see the outcome and not how it's built. But other than that, I am now able to smelt a lot of stone, which is heavily needed, so that we can finish building off the kingdom. Plus, I will probably need it for the castle. Once we start building that, I doubt that would be anytime soon because I simply just don't know where to start with it. I need to do a lot of terraforming first, and we don't actually really have too much dirt. I only really have what's over by the kingdom and then this. So we're going to have to collect a lot of dirt at some point. But other than that, guys, I think I'm actually running out of time to record this episode. As I did mention in the time lapse, I do need to pre-record just a bit because I will be gone for roughly 3 weeks with like a 3-day break where I can record. So sadly, this is going to be the end of the episode. If you did enjoy, then make sure to leave a like. I spent about probably 6-7 hours building over at the kingdom, so it does take some time, which is why we haven't finished it yet. But yeah, if you really love this episode, then make sure to subscribe to stay tuned for the next one. It should be out hopefully on Tuesday. But other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Take care, and goodbye.